Hi students, how are you? Today we can begin our next lesson, that is chapter 9, reproduction in animals. You know the differences between living things and non-living things, and we know that various life processes are taking place in the body of living things. Last year you have studied about the processes like digestion, circulation, excretion, respiration and reproduction, etc. And we know digestion, respiration, excretion, circulation, all these are essential for our life. Without that we can't live. But without reproduction we can live. But what happens if organisms do not reproduce? We can see that if nobody is reproducing, then there will be no life on the earth. So, we know that reproduction is very important as it ensures the continuation of similar kinds of individuals generation after generation. Now, there is a table in your textbook. So, animals and their young ones. Human. What is the young one? Baby. Cat, kitten. Dog, pups or puppy. Butterfly, caterpillar. Hen, chick. Cow, calf. Frog, tadpole. Okay. So, now can you tell how chicks and caterpillars are born, or how are kittens and puppies born? Last year you have studied about the reproduction in plants, and you saw that there are two modes of reproduction in plants, sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Just as in plants, there are two modes of reproduction in animals also. So in animals also we can see sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. And first we can discuss about sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. And last year you have studied sexual reproduction in plants. And which is the reproductive part of a plant? Flowers are the reproductive part of a plant. And in flower you can see male reproductive part and female reproductive part. You remember that? Then which is the male reproductive part in a flower? Male reproductive part in a flower is stamen. You can quickly recall all this. So stamen has two parts, a stalk-like part called filament, and at the top of filament we can see the anther. Then what is there inside the anther? On the anther you can see powdered structures called pollen grains. So pollen grains are present on the anther. And male gametes are present inside this pollen grains. Okay. So male gametes are present in this pollen grain. So stamen is the male reproductive part, and in the male reproductive part male gametes are present, and male gametes in a flower is pollen grain. Then which is the female reproductive part? Female reproductive part is pistil. Which are the parts of pistil? Ovary, style and stigma. Ovary, style, stigma. Okay. And inside the ovary we can see bead-like structures called ovules. And these ovules are the female gamete. Okay. So we can recall quickly. So male gamete, pollen grain. Female gamete is the ovule that is present inside the ovary. And we study pollination. That is transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma. So by wind or animals or birds or butterflies, pollen grains transfer from the anther to the stigma. That is pollination. So now the pollen grain reached in the stigma. Then you study cross-pollination, self-pollination and all. You remember, no? So now pollen grain is on the stigma. Then a pollen tube develops downward towards the ovule, and the male gamete in the pollen grain moves down through this pollen tube and reaches the ovule and fuses with the ovule. Fuse together to form a single cell called zygote. You remember all this now? So here in sexual reproduction we can see male reproductive part and female reproductive part is there. In male reproductive part produces male gamete, female reproductive part produces female gamete, and male gamete fuses with the female gamete, and that process is called fertilization. And during fertilization, due to the fusion of male and female gamete, one single cell is formed, and that single cell is called zygote. You remember all this, no? Okay. So in animals also we can see that there is male reproductive part, male body have male reproductive part, female body have female reproductive part, and male reproductive part produces male gametes called sperms, and female reproductive parts produces female gametes called egg or ovum. So now we can discuss about the reproduction in human beings. First we can discuss about male reproductive organ. The male reproductive organs in human beings include a pair of testes. So this a pair of testes. Singular is testes. Okay, so a pair of testes are the male reproductive organs. And this testes produce male hormone called testosterone is produced by testes, and the main function is that it produces the male gamete called sperm. So the male gamete is called as sperm, and it is produced in the testes. So testes produces male hormone testosterone, and it also produces the male gamete called sperm. And this male gamete, it is a single cell, only one cell, and it is this single cell contains all the cell components also, and it is very small. We cannot see it with our naked eye, but its shape, we have already discussed about the shape. It has a head, a middle part, and a tail. So this is it has a head, then a middle part, and a tail. So this is the structure of a sperm. Okay, it is a single cell. It contains all the components of a cell, and it is produced in the testis. There. And this testis is connected with a tube-like structure, and this tube-like structure is called sperm duct, or it is also called as vas deferens. So the tube-like structure is called sperm duct. And when the sperms are produced, after the production, the sperms will move through this tube called sperm duct. And this is our urinary bladder. Urinary bladder. Last year you studied about this, you studied excretory system. So you know we have a pair of kidneys, and from the kidneys tubes called ureters are coming out, and these ureters are connected to the urinary bladder, and urine is stored in this urinary bladder, and urinary bladder has an opening called urethra. You remember that now in excretory system. So urine is coming through the tubes called ureters from the kidney, and it is this is the urinary bladder, and it is collected in the urinary bladder. From urinary bladder, urine is passed out through the opening called urethra, and it is coming out through the urethra, and urethra is connected with an organ called penis, and through penis urine is passed out also. That is taking place in our excretory system. Now we are discussing about reproductive system. So what happens? Sperms are produced inside this testis. From the testis, it is going out through the sperm duct, and this sperm duct is connected with this urethra. Okay, sperm duct is connected with the urethra, and along its path there are two glands also. Glands called prostate gland and seminal vesicles are there. And this prostate glands and seminal vesicles give out some secretions, and so that the sperms are now in some secretions. So the sperms can move easily in this liquid. And this liquid gives nutrition to the sperms also, and it also makes the transport of sperms easier also. So when the sperms are coming out through the urethra, these secretions of prostate gland and seminal vesicles are mixed with the sperms, and now sperms are in a fluid. And through the urethra, sperms come out, and we know urethra is connected with the penis, so it will come out through the penis and it goes out through the penis. So here urine and the sperms both are going out through the same passage. Okay, so urethra forms a common passage for sperms and urine, and urethra carries the sperms to an organ called penis, and penis is opened to outside also. Okay, clear now? So this is the male reproductive organs. So which are the male reproductive organs? Are a pair of testes. They are present outside the human body, outside the abdomen of male human body, and they are oval shaped, and they produce hormone testosterone and produce the sperms. Sperms are single celled. They have head, middle part and tail, and then they move through the tubes called sperm ducts, and sperm ducts are connected to the urethra, and through the urethra it is carried through the penis, and from penis it is passed out also. Clear? Now Paheli have a doubt, that is, for what purpose the tail in a sperm serves, or what is the purpose of tail in a sperm? We know that sperm want to reach near the female gamete for fertilization. So it want to move and reach near the female gamete, and the tail helps the sperm in its movement also. Okay, so now I hope you understand the structure of male reproductive organ. The next is female reproductive organ. So we can discuss about female reproductive organ. Okay, and female reproductive organs are a pair of ovaries. So these are the ovaries. So the female reproductive organs are a pair of ovaries. Okay, and this ovaries produces the female gamete, ovum or egg, and it also produces the female hormones called estrogen and progesterone. So what are the functions of ovaries? Ovaries produces the female hormones estrogen and progesterone, and also they produces the female gamete, ovum or egg. Each ovary is composed of several thousands of follicles, and at puberty or at the age of adolescence, these follicles mature to form ripe eggs or ova, and a single matured egg is released into the oviduct by one of the ovaries every month. So every month when the girl reaches puberty, what happens? Every month ovaries begin to release ovum or egg into this tube. So first month from this ovary will release one ova into the tube. Next month this ovary will release one ova into the tube. So each month one ovum will be released into the tube. Okay. So just above this ovaries we can see tubes, and this tube is called fallopian tube, or it is also called as oviduct. Okay, so tubes above these ovaries are called oviduct. Clear? Then these oviducts are joined to a bag-like structure, and this bag-like structure is called uterus. And we know the growth and development of a fertilized ovum into a baby takes place inside the uterus. Okay, and the uterus has an opening called vagina. So this is the structure of female reproductive organ. And this ovum is, we know sperm has at a head, middle part and tail, and it can move also. It is very small also. But when we look at the structure of ovum or egg released by the ovaries, the ovum is round in shape and it is little more bigger than sperm. So this is the nucleus also. It is little more bigger than the sperm and it won't move like the sperm. And the egg is also a single cell like sperm. We study sperm is a single cell. Like sperm, egg is also a single cell. And the size of the eggs in animals varies. It may be very small as in humans or larger as hens, and we know largest egg is the egg of ostrich and dove. Then our next topic is fertilization. So next we can discuss about fertilization. Okay, so what is fertilization? The fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization. So when the male gamete, that is sperms, come in contact with egg, one of the sperms may fuse with the egg to form a single cell. Such fusion of the egg and sperm is called fertilization. So how fusion takes place? We study sperms are produced in the where testis, and from testis it moves through the sperm duct, then it reaches the urethra, from urethra it comes out through the penis. Okay, and during sexual contact from the penis, the sperms are ejected into the vagina, and the sperms enters the vagina. So there will be millions and millions of sperms. They will move into the uterus, then from uterus they will go to the enter into the fallopian tube also. Okay, and we know ovaries release the ovum or egg into the fallopian tube or oviduct. So this ovary, if it releases one ovum will begin to move through this fallopian tube or oviduct. And when the ovum reaches here, if at that time sperms are present in the fallopian tube, what happens? The sperms will fuse with the egg. So this egg and sperm both will fuse together. Okay, and we know egg is a single cell and sperm is also a single cell. And the nucleus of the egg and sperm fuse together to form a single nucleus. So these both cells fuse together to form a single cell. And that single cell is called zygote. Okay. And where is this fusion taking place? It is not taking place in the vagina or in the uterus. It is taking place in the oviduct or the fallopian tube. That is very important question. Where fertilization in human beings takes place in the oviduct. Okay. So here ovary releases ovum only once in a month. So if at that time sperms are entering into the oviduct, fusion takes place and zygote will be formed. So this fusion of this male and female gamete to form a single cell called zygote, that process is called fertilization. So during fertilization, the nuclei of the sperm and egg fuse to form a single nucleus, and this results in the formation of a fertilized egg, and it is called zygote. And where is this fusion taking place? It is taking place in the oviduct. So both male and female gamete fuse together to form a single cell called zygote. And here in this process of fertilization, we can see the meeting of an egg cell, that is from mother. Egg is from mother and sperm cell is from father. So gametes from father and mother fuse together to form a zygote. Okay, so if you look at your brother or sister, you can recognize some characters in them similar to those of your father or mother, because this new zygote is formed by the fusion of gametes from father and mother. So the zygote will get the characters of both father and mother. So you can see some characters of father and some characters of mother in the zygote, because it is formed by the fusion of gametes from father and mother. And here we can see fertilization is taking place in the oviduct, that is inside the body. Oviduct is present inside the body of mother. So here fertilization is taking place inside the body. So this type of fertilization is called internal fertilization. Internal fertilization. Okay. But in some, so internal fertilization we can see in dog, cat, cow, lion, tiger, everywhere we can see internal fertilization. But in some animals we can see fertilization takes place outside the body of the female. It is not taking place inside the body of mother. It is the fusion is taking place outside the body of the mother. So in these animals, fertilization is taking place in water, and that type of fertilization is called external fertilization. So in next class we can discuss about external fertilization. Okay, so here there is one box in your textbook, that is, have you heard of test tube babies? Have you heard? So our test tube baby means, does the baby develops or grow in a test tube? No. So what is happening here? Here in some women, their oviducts may be blocked, or due to some other problems, sperms may not be able to enter into the oviduct. So fusion won't take place, fertilization won't take place. So in such cases, what the doctors do, they will collect fresh ovum from the mother and fresh sperm from the father, and they will keep them together for few hours for IVF. IVF means in vitro fertilization, that is fertilization outside the body. So they will collect fresh sperm and ovum, and fertilization takes place outside the body. Then if fertilization or fusion takes place and if zygote is developed, what they do, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week. It will develop, give 1 week for the development of the zygote. After the development of the zygote, it is taken and placed inside the mother's uterus itself. Then further growth takes place in the uterus of the mother itself. So the growth and development of the baby takes place in the uterus itself. Okay, so babies born through this technique are called test tube babies. But when we hear, we may think growth is taking place inside the test tube. It is not like that. Only fertilization is taking place outside the body. After fertilization, it is deposited in the uterus of the mother for further development. Okay, so in next class, we can discuss about external fertilization. Okay, bye.